imagine a future office where you have this big field in the mountains, on the trees, or on the beach. And instead of like having an office space, you have like pods everywhere.
Yeah,
and you have to travel.
Yeah.
Damn, we gave people so many ideas.
Whoever doesn't deliver, you lock them in the pod.
Okay. So we're all very excited to be here with Ivan, who is the Chief R&D Officer at BBF, a company that used to be called Prime Properties Group, but now is called BBF. He's based in Limassol. He's one of the most hardcore construction, technology, civil engineers that I've met in my life. This guy knows how to get things done. Ivan, it's so great to have you on the first podcast in the brand new podcast studio. It's so exciting, man. Welcome.
Hell yeah, guys.
Thanks, Ivan.
Welcome.
Glad to see you also. So let's have some fun.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to have you here, but you're our tester, and most of the podcasts will happen via Zoom. So pretty exciting to have you. We'd be excited to have you here, but it's also pretty exciting to have you be the first guest. Ivan, tell us how the hell you ended up in Cyprus of all places, and then Michalis can tell us maybe how we met, because it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was a really nice, interesting story, actually. Some time ago, as you may know, guys, two of you, I worked at Seychelles Islands in the construction of one of the hotel. Then I got some offer from a Spanish company to become a project manager. And while I was waiting for the documents from this company, for the permits, for the other HR stuff, actually Prime Property came around and they offered me to become a quality control manager in Limassol in Cyprus, because when I came here, it became really obvious that somebody has to take some control over quality in Cyprus. So this was my first position in the company.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say that quality needs to be controlled? Yeah, can I say bad words in this podcast? Or not really?
Speak your mind. So, yeah, that's the point. Speak your mind.
There were some problems with quality generally in Cyprus, and still are in place. But I think we did a great job, by the way. If not joking, we did a great job in increasing level of quality in Cyprus generally, of construction, I mean, of course. This is pretty much it. And by the way, when we met, I was just a quality manager at that time. Oh, maybe a head of quality control, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was.
I remember I saw you with the iPad just outside a construction site, and it was at the time when we were looking for projects, and you know,
we're jumping over fences to find project managers.
An engineer with an iPad on site was a very rare sight in Cyprus at the time, so we're super excited to see one. You know, it's a specimen. It was a very important specimen for us.
It was quite weird for everyone on the market, to be honest. Like two crazy guys, me and David, running around sites with an iPad, and they were making jokes. Oh, look at these idiots! They're making pictures on iPad and running around.
Well, who's the idiot now? Who's the idiot?
Now when they received like hundreds of claims, quality issues, and this kind of stuff, it's not a joke anymore in the market. So yeah, it was quite. By the way, iPad is a really great product for construction. You just have to say.
Ivan, did people not like you because you had that iPad? What was the reaction? You mentioned.
First of all, they were jealous that I have an iPad Pro, of course. Actually joking, but you know what is the biggest difficulty to work as a quality manager? You have to be a bad guy quite often. So when you in real life, you're actually trying most of the time to be a nice guy, polite with people, trying to not hurt anyone's feelings, just to be like, to be kind of, kind to everyone. And then you come to work and you have to be an asshole sometimes, really an asshole. So I mean, asshole in good terms, and it for the company is good, for business, for quality. You just have to stay on your position firmly, no matter what other people's feelings, no matter what they think, no matter what they do. That you have to stand for your standards, stand for your company's benefits. So yeah, answering your question, actually, yes, a lot of people didn't like us, me and my colleagues, but at the same time, we became friends, really friends with some of them after some time when they understood the position.
Ivan, how do you do that? How do you be the asshole on site and then have friends?
And then go out with them, and then you just told them earlier they did a shitty job.
Most of the time, I really believe when you're emotionally in the contact with the job you're doing, and you're emotionally inputting, you're giving something to the product that you make. It actually, when you are emotionally dedicated and devoted to the product that you're working on, other people, they start to understand it after some time. So in the beginning, they just think, okay, there is some asshole came on site with an iPad, okay, making pictures, like, okay, whatever, idiot. But then when you show not only the working, I don't know, not only the working position, let's say, as an employee, but also emotional dedication to your work and to the product that you actually make together with, for example, quality control from client side, controlling main contractor. You're making one product, you're devoting to one work. It's your common project. I mean, we are a team. At the same time, when people just understand that you're actually really from your heart trying to make the product better, then they start to, okay, maybe he's right, maybe. And we were trying a lot of times, not just to make issues on site and take pictures. We were kind of trying to invest some emotion, some time into people like foremen, I don't know, like workers, project directors, or whoever else, to try to invest not only some, just simple work, standard operational procedures, let's say, when you're trying to motivate people by giving them an example. This is what changes their minds most of the time. And when they see your attitude, they change their mind, and then they get, okay, I agree with you, and not with everything, but with most of the things you're doing. So let's go and drink some beer. And after this,
Well, you're a cool guy. I feel like a shark would want to drink beer with you. But tell us.
What do you think about quality management? Do you have to be the bad guy, and is there another way to do it? Or
I think you have to be the bad guy. I think you have to have Ivan's character, who's he loves what he does, and he has a purpose in what he does, and that really comes through. But then he also pays a lot of time in caring for the people that he's working with and communicating. And I think that's his trick. And that's how you go from a quality engineer, quality manager to chief R&D in a company in a few years. Don't take it lightly. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I think everyone's impressed with you.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm also impressed sometimes, quite often.
I love it.
It's actually, it's just you're absolutely 100% right. What you just told is like when you're communicating with people, not just doing your job, it's like increases your value of your work you're giving. 100%.
Ivan, tell us a little bit what it's like. You mentioned Seychelles. You're here in Cyprus now. It's not your home country. You're Russian originally. Tell us a little bit about how it is to be an expat. Is it? I mean, I was an expat for like 20 years, but it wasn't my decision. It was because of my parents. But you made the decision. You're like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go live there, and now I'm going to move there. What's that like? Is it crazy?
I think, actually, you mentioned one really important thing. Once I traveled across Russia, for example, with my parents when they needed or wanted to move to other cities. Like for example, I moved from Krasnodar to Moscow because my father changed his company, and then so my family was always actually traveling across the country all their life, starting from childhood. So this is one thing I wanted to tell. So this is really important. That is it your choice? Is it your intention? Is it what your goals in your life? I think this matters a lot. So, for example, when I was traveling with them, I didn't like it, to be honest. I want to go back to my native town, native city, and live there. It's cool, it's nice. But actually, when I really came, when I finished the university, when I came back to the city that I lived, I spent there like 2-3 years, and I understand that it's like so boring. I mean, I have to travel. I have to see the world. I want to work with different people, different cultures. And actually, I was always fond of international communications. I finished school, a gymnasium, which was actually focused on different languages like French and English. So I actually knew French and English quite well for a Russian. Normally, Russian people.
You speak French, really?
Just a bit. I did.
Construction French or French? Sorry? Construction French or?
No. It was just a school level, like levels for just most standard communication. But I'm just. We were taught at school to be like, internationally open and learning languages. Then I wanted to actually, my idea was to go to university, not to construction.
Yeah.
It was not the idea. My plan was to go to international business in one of the Moscow universities. So this was my idea actually in my life.
What do you, Ivan, what do you think of those degrees now that you did construction? Just be would you?
Yeah.
Do you regret?
I don't regret because it was really difficult for me because normally I have really bad problems in mathematics. I'm like, you cannot imagine how bad am I in mathematics. I mean,
you're a civil engineer. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is the problem. So it was really tough for me. It was crazy. I was dying sometimes. I really was dying. I mean, I hate this.
So how did you go then from quality manager to chief anything in construction? How do you do that? How do you kind of stand out from the crowd of engineers on site and people notice that you're good at something and you go up the ladder in any company, let's say?
I think, looking back, this is actually somehow connected to what I was telling you just before you was asking. I was planning to become like international business, like communications and this kind of stuff. It means communicating with people, means relationships, relations, to people, basically.
Yeah.
So if you are interested generally as a person in any type of human communications and understanding their problems, making business, understanding business, if it's international communications, it's even more interesting. I mean, not just, you're trying to speak with your neighbor all your whole life. You're trying to understand what is international communications. It's like when you think about it, how to properly communicate with with people from different countries, with different religions, different races. I don't know, whatever. When you, I was reading books about it. I was reading psychology books about it. I mean, so I was not actually a civil engineer in my mind. I was more like, how do you call it? This sciences, social sciences oriented person.
Yeah.
And I am still. But what actually, answering your another question, do I regret about my civil engineer? Of course not, because, I think it just made me stronger. So I have civil engineer degree. So I have some technical things in my mind. I understand how things work, which is also kind of interesting and crazy sometimes. And at the same point, I'm a social oriented person. I mean, social science even. So, like,
how did you go up the ladder? Let's say what
and this is what I'm coming to. So when you're mixing those two, this is my opinion. This is my experience. When you have experience and understanding and knowledge of how things are done in specific industry, and you're actually trying to understand not only the technical part, the construction part, you understand the people, the psychology behind, the difficulties behind, pains, how to connect the dots then, what are the problems, because behind any construction, any engineering is with people anyway. So once you connect those two worlds, this is what I think helped me to rise, let's say. When I communicated those dots of people and technology, let's say, and actually technology, what we're talking today, not just construction, technology like PropTech, like Procore, Plano, or whatever, people's pains points, I don't know, their relationships and construction. So these three things, massive things.
Construction that is suffering.
Yeah, but when you think about all these things, like in general, not separate, okay, this is a brick, I need to put one brick on another, okay, this is my schedule of works. When you think it as a bigger picture that, it's people behind and there are some processes that have to be improved or can be improved, or some pains that can be resolved, or you're actually, also what I wanted to say, that, again, you have to give to people. First, you have to give your time, your motivation, your energy to help them to improve their work, to improve work of the whole company, and at the end of the day, the whole industry. And when you're giving, you receive it back, for sure. Yeah. If you're just waiting for something to come and okay, quality should be better, this is shitty quality, and just, okay, in Cyprus, it's shitty quality. And I'm not doing anything about it. Okay, what will you get from it? Nothing. You will sit and do nothing.
Don't complain, get down and work, accept the problem as it is, and then get down to working, and then also focus. So here's the thing about you. You're a pretty creative person. I mean, you're one of those people that, your mind is racing at 1,000,000 kilometers per second. You're thinking about 1,000,000 things. And, when somebody looks at you, you're like, does this guy ever get anything done? Just because everything's always on your mind. But I've, and it's not like a year, right? I've seen you deliver for like 3 years at least consecutively. How do you do that? How do you maintain that rhythm of that mindset in order to continuously deliver in what you're doing at your job and with your goals? Are you just like super organized? Do you have like a room
by the way,
full of like Kanban views, or what the hell's going on?
By the way, I'm not really an organized person. I never was. So this is quite strange. I think what makes it done is makes all the things, not all, but maybe most of them done is when you motivate people, and it's not just words. I mean, when you're trying to communicate with people and trying to set one common goal, between all of you, like a team of people, doesn't matter if it's even a group of 2 people, if it's 200 people. And you actually make them believe that this goal is achievable, and we know how to do this, what to do to make it happen. And just you're setting up a plan. And then if the team is motivated and if they believe that the goal is achievable, then actually things are starting to be done piece by piece, part by part, by each part of the team. And actually you even don't have to be really organized, like highly organized person. You have to remember your goals, making some Kanban boards, of course. But I think the biggest challenge, but this, at the same time, the biggest power is to motivate people to get things done for one common goal. So
that's amazing.
This is, I think, the way. So this is what I believe. This is my way. Some people really are highly organized.
So you compensate your lack of organization. I have to admit, I haven't seen a lack of organization from you. You're a very structured person. You think like an engineer. You're very practical. You're very, all right, in order to get this done, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I love a mind that works that way. But you're saying that you compensate for whatever weakness you perceive you have by communicating with the team and making sure that it's done. That's really interesting to see.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're because nobody is perfect. We all have our weaknesses and strengths. So if I'm, for example, it was a really nice example when we were working with David. David well.
Yeah,
my good old friend. And we were actually, two of us were a team of quality control in the company.
Yeah.
And I had one strength, like communicating with people, like motivating them for something better. And David is hard pusher, he's not afraid to make people uncomfortable for something better, and this kind of stuff. So he's a pusher. He answers all the emails. He likes to write this size of emails.
I love David. I love David.
I mean,
let's stop talking shit behind David's back. David, we all love you.
He's really great at something.
Do people read the long emails? Do people read the long emails or?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I know that some people do. Some people really need it. They need to express and to read this information. So yeah, and it's just as an example, because me and David, we came from another industry, like it's gas and oil construction in Russia.
Yeah,
it's crazy amount of written stuff goes on there, like paper stuff. Yeah. When you're writing just the name of the project, it can be like 20
2 sentences.
Words. It's just the name of the project, like 20 words, just the name of the project. So you're writing like, okay, on this project, blah, 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 20 words. This company, blah, 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 5 another words. And then you're coming up to this size of email saying like 2-3 words, which means...
You just said hi.
You just said hi. Just for those who don't know, David is a brilliant project manager. He's now actually a program director, project director. Program manager at BBF. He has PMs under him, and I have to say he's one of those guys that are super passionate about tech, and I don't know what school you guys went to, but he's also one of those guys that get things done, and that's one of the I don't know, guys, what do you think? I feel that's one of the hardest skills to find. People that just get things done and don't get stuck in the details, or don't think about it's like 5:30, I have to go home.
Yeah,
and they just get stuff done. What do you guys? I don't know.
Do you go home?
Crazy?
Do you go home at 5:30, Ivan?
I'm at the office now, so you can guess. But yeah, normally, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends. It really depends on the low workload, basically. If I get things done and I know that I can go, I go. By the way, now as long as I'm head of department, I don't have time limitations for my team. I mean, I don't care when they come, when they go, where they work from home or from office, or I don't care. I just say, okay, guys, there is a goal, there is a project that you need to deliver, there is a date. I don't care how you do it, when you do it, and where you do it. We have to do it, but feel yourself comfortable. You can have your office, you can work from home some days, you can do whatever you want, but just let's get things done. I think this is, again, answering what you're saying is actually, if you manage to find people, the first thing you said, that can get things done, the second step will be motivate them to get things done.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I mean, just I think you have to be like, I don't know, a visionary. I don't know if it's the right word, but to draw a goal, you know, to explain to people how the goal.
Oh, like in a visual manner.
How it looks like, yeah. I mean, it can be audio, it can be visual. You have to explain to. Yeah. By the way, for different people, it's different. For one person, it's better to write a sketch. For another person, it's better to tell it to him. For other person, you have to write this size of email. So this is what I'm saying. This communication. So if you find a way for which person what works better, and then you communicate with each one in this way. I think this is what motivates people. And I'm not good at it, by the way. I'm not perfect, let's say, but I'm trying.
What do you think? You get a lot of things done. How do you get things done? Angelos is one of the most organized people I ever met in my life. I think organized. You're very organized.
Yes, I agree.
He gets things done.
I think I'm more practical than organized. I just get things done by brute force.
It's forcing you.
I just, myself or the team. It's just, But jokes aside, I feel you can't get things done purely by being forceful, either to yourself or to others. I think you get things done by just having a goal and a purpose in mind. And if you have that goal and the purpose in mind, you'll do anything. And then I have to say, I agree with what Ivan's saying about communicating. So you have to communicate. And if you don't have that goal and that purpose, and you're not able to, you just won't be able to communicate with passion and with obsession, because passion's kind of boring. Everyone's passionate now. It's really boring, I have to say.
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion. Be obsessed. Don't follow your passion. Everyone follows their passion. Be obsessed about whatever you do. When I look at someone like Ivan, the guy's obsessed. He's obsessed with
I think he's following his passion.
He's obsessed with getting things done. He's obsessed with discovering new technologies. He's obsessed with improving stuff. He's multifaceted. Actually, that's it.
I don't know. Do you feel this when I get things done, like especially in if it's like an improvement or something new? I feel physically physical pleasure.
Yes.
Not just okay, cool. No, I physically feel pleasure. So this is actually what
you feel pumped.
I think.
Okay, so you said something. You said something that I don't know. So you said something. I don't know. It's maybe not popular, or maybe it's popular with like CEOs, and then it's not popular with like the people. You said that you let your team work from wherever. You don't care what time they come in, they come out. Did you guys read Elon Musk's email that leaked a couple of weeks ago about remote work? Michal, if I
have to check it out.
Okay, so Ivan didn't read it. Check it out. But basically, what Elon said was that he put it somewhere that was kind of rough too. He said, if you don't spend a minimum of 40 hours per week in the office, we'll just consider that you're not fit. I mean, we'll just consider that, that you left or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then he got quite the pushback online, but then he also got quite a bit of support. Did you find it?
Yeah. Anyone who wishes to do remote work must be in the office for a minimum, and I mean minimum, it says in parentheses, of 40 hours per week or depart Tesla. This is less than we ask of factory workers. If there are particular exceptional contributors for whom this is impossible, I would review and approve those exceptions directly. Moreover, the office, in quotation marks, must be a main Tesla office, not a remote branch office unrelated to the job duties. For example, being responsible for Fremont factory human relations, but having your office be in another state. I think that's an email. I have to find the tweet.
Anyway, that's it. So basically what he said was that, you need to spend a minimum 40 hours per week in the office. Otherwise, you're gone. We consider this your resignation kind of thing. And then he said something about innovative companies. He said that the companies that don't do that haven't produced an innovative product for a while. To be honest, from our end, I think we're still trying to figure out, is remote work a thing? Is it not a thing? Can we be innovative, productive, creative, bond as a team via Zoom? Or do we just be in the office?
I think it depends on the company, on the role, on the industry. I don't know. I don't think it's a black and white answer.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think it should be balanced, like in everything. Okay, if you feel that you're like it's balanced, and everyone in the team feel that okay, we need to spend some time or specific time together. But if, for example, one of the employees is asking for some remote work, for some reasons, let's say, not just without a reason, for some reasons he or she feels comfortable to work from remote for some time. Why not?
What I don't like about remote work is the fact that everything seems to take longer when it comes to team communications. Yeah. If you're in the same office, you want to say something to somebody, you don't jump over and you're shouting over a table or a desk, and then you say what you want to say and you move on. Whereas otherwise, if you're home, you have to Slack or message or call or whatever, and then that person might not be available in that time. I don't know. It feels like everything takes a little longer to get done.
Yeah. I mean, the communication aspect takes longer to get done. I also think it if you have kids or not, it kind of plays a role. What you can do from the house, or if you have a big house, where you have like an office space that you can lock the door and nobody comes through. But it's 2022. Who has that anymore? I don't know.
Especially in Limassol. So I think it should be balanced, but for me, much more important that things are done and people feel comfortable, not comfortable, feel I forgot the word, to be honest. Empowered, yes, and respectful, let's say. So you respect their position at some points.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I mean, maybe sometimes you have to, be harder in some, especially in some industries. In construction, remote work, I don't believe it's real. I mean, okay, now our department
building from home.
By the way, construction from home is actually almost like modular construction.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you need a factory worker there, but I mean, you can.
Yeah, the factory will be full of robots in 10 years, and you will just program these robots.
Do you really think so? I mean,
I'm sure about that.
How the hell will a robot be able to pass a wire through a, I don't know, 2 centimeter diameter PVC pipe? Good luck.
Probably the modules will be pre-wired
by
or
humans.
They will. You can. I know how to do it already. So you put you put the pipe, but it should be flexible. You put it on the line, then you pass the cable before the installation. Then you put just the pipe on the module with the cable already inside.
Yeah. Let's just agree, Ivan. Let's just agree on semi-autonomous. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, okay, 5 years semi-autonomous, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years fully automated.
Let's see. Well, maybe, look, I mean, I see the automated part in, what the hell happened? So I see the automated part in, I definitely see it in the assembling phase. I see some difficulties in the casting phase, in the wiring phase, in the MEP phase. I mean, there's just, and I think we underestimate and we don't pay enough attention to the trades, but there's stuff out there that needs a lot of talent and maneuvering and engineering and experience to get done.
Yeah, trades are the most difficult generally, even in classical, traditional construction anyway. Like a shortage of MEP specialists in Cyprus or anywhere, it's like crazy.
Yeah. So you think that in 10 years, this is your vision, right? You think that in 10 years, construction will be a much more robotic industry than it is today, or fully robotic, or maybe?
No, I'm exaggerating, of course, a bit, but I think there will be, from what we see, with you together, guys, what we see is level of automation and integration of standard operational procedures will be in 10 years. I think it will be like, you cannot compare even to what we had like 5 years ago and what we have now already. Like what we are doing together now with you. Could you imagine, like, okay, not 10 years ago, could you imagine what is going on now, what we're doing, what things are going on, and like how they're progressing with 360 views, or I don't know, like Procore stuff, and then integration between each other, open space, cloud-based quality control, which like increases efficiency in hundreds of %. We discussed it with you. Like, increase in productivity is not 5%, 10%. It's like 500%, literally. So we measured it, for one process. And it's we did it for like during 1 year. Increase in efficiency 500% in one thing. You can do the same in another. So I think this will be the most developed part of the construction in 10 years. I mean, the operations, I think so. This is what I see. But regarding the construction itself, the site works, it's difficult to predict, because I think it depends a lot, not even on the construction companies or developer companies. I think it depends on perception and clients' thoughts about what is a modular building. Let's say, if you will manage to make a building that you don't have any difference with the traditional, is it done the traditional way or modular or by robots or whatever 3D printer? I think this will be at this point it will like boom, because people they don't know what is behind. They just get their keys in 8 months. After there was like a field, in 8 months you have your keys in a flat. They don't, and if they see no difference, everyone will buy those flats. They will not even think about it, how it was done. But now, from what I see from our company's experience, and from what I, for example, from what I discuss with companies that produce modules, the client's perception that modular building is something like, cheap and boxy and unflexible and, like squeezing and vibrating. So this is like what people think about modular construction. So
isn't that just one of the most fucking amazing feelings in your life, to go and see a project that you had your hand in building, to go see that being a real living thing that families live there, and kids play around, and people getting married and eating dinner. Is that?
Do you think that what Ivan says is also going to be the case, that owners are going to want to know how something has been built, or are they going to just being interested in getting the keys and going in? Because the owner plays a big role in how construction evolves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we're moving into a digital and an experience-based reality. Let's call it a digital reality, right? Because do you really care where your driver is when they bring you your food, or do you just want to get the food? I think you just want to get the food, but on the other hand, you're like checking your phone every 3 minutes. Where's that driver? Where's the driver?
Because I want to know when he's coming. I don't really care where he is, in the sense that, is he passing out outside of Zara or something? I just want to know when he's going to be here, because I'm hungry.
Well, it's the same, right? And construction is the biggest investment that people make in their life. People, companies, it's the biggest investment they make in their lives, right? So I think that the people would want to see it. I don't know if they need to see it, but I know that they would want to see it. Mm-hmm. And I think once they see it, they will feel that they need it. And they can't live without it.
It's a good comparison, by the way. I like this example, like comparing with the food delivery. But when you order food, your provider of delivery is a provider of delivery. You don't care which type of scooter, which brand of scooter he uses, what type of fuel is in his scooter. You care how fast he will come.
Yeah.
But when you're choosing what you will eat, you actually are choosing from what you know normally, yeah? So you was in that restaurant, or you know that this restaurant is good, or you have some referrals or this kind of stuff. So if we speak about the food, how it was done, yeah? So we can come like in crazy details about this, like, is the chicken raised in a free range, you know, this kind of stuff.
Is it really free range?
Is it really a chicken, you know? So
what's the equivalent in construction then? What's the free range of construction?
The is that if you have a building, modular building delivered in, I don't know, let's say 2 months, but it's built from materials that are not considered to be traditional, or like not in the traditional way. For example, in Cyprus, if you will have a delivered building, but from timber, from wood completely, I don't know, wooden building in 2 months, would you consider this as a good building, as a high level building?
No, I don't like
in Cyprus.
I just don't like. I'm not going to say I don't like, because sometimes I do like wooden homes. There are some really beautiful modern ones, but I do feel that concrete and solid block walls have an extra sense of quality to them, and I feel that a drywall just feels. It just feels empty. It's empty. It's soulless. There's no soul inside. It's fast, but there's no soul.
This is the thing, in Russia, for example, or in Norway, in the Scandinavian region, they build from wood. And I mean, they pay millions in Russia, for example, for wooden logs buildings, like they like it. People like it. So again, it's like, what do you prefer and how it's delivered? It's just a matter of your choice. Should be a matter of your choice. So actually, it's a good point to think of. If I want to be, application. Man, it's a startup.
Yeah.
Application for modular and prefab buildings. So you choose. You sit down. You have providers, and you choose. Okay, I want metal frame module. I don't know, with this kind of finishes, or I want to have a timber log building. You're choosing from application. Click a button, and then you wait for delivery for your driver but not on the scooter, on the load truck in this case.
And then you pay for it with cryptocurrencies, and
of course,
and you own like an 18th of it because you got in with another 18 investors. It was like open source and crowdfunded and stuff.
Think of it.
I like the idea. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting, Ivan. But I have to say, I don't know. I mean, would you develop an app that a person would use once in his life? I mean, how many homes are you going to buy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that
as Kevin O'Leary says, take it behind the barn and shoot it.
I don't know, guys. I think it's the younger generation. We don't know what their thoughts will be on it. How will they buy properties? Will they buy properties? Maybe they will be happy to rent it or share it or whatever. I don't know.
I think they'll buy a lot of properties on the metaverse.
This is for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to buy real properties, but a lot of properties on the metaverse. I don't know,
just because
it looks metaverse cool. Expert.
Definitely not, but
what do you think? They're going to buy NFT homes?
If it looks cool, if it
NFHs,
if it elevates your social status, it's probably going to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. How has the world changed? We're all about the same age. Late 80s, well, or almost all of us. How has the world changed, in your opinion, from the time that we were growing up to now? What are the, how has the reality of the young generation changed? What do you guys think?
That's a deep question.
Deep question. But what I'm trying to get at is, how will this affect construction, right? Will people want smaller spaces and want to be outside more? Will they want more apartments and less homes, more homes and less apartments? That's what I'm trying to get at, because this will have an impact on our industry. The demand is there. We don't have enough homes for people, but the homes might change. It might be what Ivan's saying with the app.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, they will change. I don't know how they will change, because it seems like people are having experiences now. Just sitting in a room, you can have a kind of a VR set, and then you have all these sorts of experiences. You can travel anywhere with your mind. So maybe you don't need such a big house to satisfy.
Maybe you need one room.
Maybe just you need one room that's comfy, so you can sit there for 20 hours.
You're sitting on the toilet and you're wearing VR glasses and you think you're in your bed and you sleep.
So you just need a toilet, yeah?
Well, I went based on needs.
The toilet pods will be the booming market.
The booming market, toilet pods. You heard it here first, guys.
That's the next innovation in construction. Toilets that don't smell, so you can sleep in the same room as well.
Yeah.
Or you can do some kind of virtual reality for your nose. I don't know, some kind of gadget that manipulates your nose, whatever.
There you go, guys.
You can smell like shit, and
additional accessory for the room, for the one room you're gonna buy.
Or for the VR glasses. I don't know. It depends on who will be more advanced at that point. So actually, I was, when I was in my trip with modular and prefab companies.
Yeah.
Some of them really told me that, look, before we had a business that was oriented on big timber log buildings, like what I've told you before, and now it's clearly for them. They told it's clear for us that it shifts to micro living stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they say that we see it. It's not like they think it will change or they not think it will not change. They tell to me that it's changing.
Yeah.
It's already changing. It's already happening. So, and with this way, why not for a company, let's say in one country, let's say they produce modular houses or prefab houses or whatever. They create an application for their company, I don't know, timber modular LTD, Cyprus. And they provide, for a client, the status of their order, like, are the walls are built already? Is it MEP is installed? And I don't know, so they can see like a status of, like you see a status of your order in food delivery. Yeah, you see that it's order accepted, preparing, shipping, or this kind of stuff. So it could be the same for private construction, basically. I don't know. It's just.
What does micro living mean, by the way? Does that mean you live in a small space, or?
Yeah, like really small houses, like 35 square meters house. But it's completely. You can put it anywhere. You can just deliver it with a simple truck.
Is it like a moving house? Can you move it as well, or?
Yeah, you can move it. Yes.
Yeah, you just need like a slab.
You can just take it with a crane, put it on a truck, and bring it to any other country when you're.
Guys, I'm honestly, I might sound like a crazy one here, but I'm not opposed to this idea. I like the idea of spending more time outdoors. Yeah. I think do you know that we spend 80% of our time indoors? Isn't that messed up? I don't know. Isn't that messed up? I mean, there's so much of the world to see.
I hate it really.
80% of our time indoors. At least.
I like how we say this, and it's like 9 p.m. in the evening, and we've been in the office since 7 a.m. in the morning.
We went to Limassol today, so it was fine. We had some car time.
Why not to make business rooms outside? I mean,
that idea, work from home. I don't know. Having remote offices like pods. Imagine a future. Guys, maybe we should do this. Imagine a future office where You have this big field in the mountains, on the trees, or on the beach, and instead of like having an office space, you have like pods everywhere.
Yeah,
and you have to travel.
Yeah.
Damn, we give people so many ideas.
Whoever doesn't deliver, you lock them in the pod.
Yeah, but you have like some meeting rooms in the center of the forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then around is like cabinets with transparent walls. Really, I like your idea.
I like this. I think we should do it. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's end on that. I like that. Let's see who follows this idea, who believes this idea, who follows it. Maybe it's one of the listeners and becomes a billionaire. Hey, if you do, we are a really good construction tech provider. So we're here to help you. Ivan can attest to it. We helped him digitize his company. But absolutely, follow us, subscribe to our podcast, follow us, hit us up on LinkedIn, talk with Ivan, meet him, talk to him. He's always open to talking with people.
Ivan, where can people find you?
Where can people find you?
Look, I am almost not using any social medias. I mean, classical like Instagram or Facebook. I use LinkedIn.
Cool.
So anyone can find me in LinkedIn. Ivan Kozheurov, BBF.
We'll include your name.
Yeah. So mostly I'm posting my stuff there, and if it's related somehow to work or interests, I communicate there most of the time.
That's amazing. Ivan, thank you so much for making time for us. It was so great. This was so fun. I absolutely loved it.
Next one is going to be here. Next one, you're coming to the office.
I'm so proud that Ivan was our first new podcast room guest. I can't wait for this to be published.
It's a really honor. It's an honor for me with such great guys, such really passionate guys, and such a passionate company generally. What you're doing is great, and I respect it a lot, And thanks a lot for calling. Always happy to spend some time with you. And, it's like always time is running when we're speaking about our passions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
great. Thanks, Ivan.
Next time.
Thank you so much.